let's move on to the best team in the the best team. The best division in the AFC. I think arguably the best division in football, the AFC North. I got 3 teams making the playoffs in this division. I got 3 teams winning 12 or more games.
Wow.
Okay. I even have we'll go last to worst. Number 4, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yet I have them finishing 9-8, still getting that winning record from Mike Tomlin. Listen, the Steelers are going to be a team like the Titans, like the Patriots. They're going to always compete. They're going to steal some games and spoil some teams this upcoming season. The question is, their defense is top notch. Their questions remain with Kenny Pickett, and is Matt Canada the long-term plan for Kenny Pickett as his OC? We heard a lot from John that he despises Matt Canada. I've heard from my other Pittsburgh Steelers friends, Matt Canada's not the guy. Tomlin kept him. He chose to keep him. If he's starting to hurt Kenny Pickett, you got to make your choice, Tomlin. And I think the choice is pretty obvious. It's get rid of Matt Canada and go with your rookie quarterback and find him a guy that actually clicks with him and can make Kenny Pickett the best version of Kenny Pickett. So the Steelers finishing 9-8. Then I have the Baltimore Ravens at 12-5.
Finishing third.
At the third. Okay. But 4-2 in their division. Thing with the Ravens is, there's no thing. They're being better than they were last year. I have them making the playoffs. This is what I wrote down, Justin. The motto for the Baltimore Ravens going into 2023 and 2024 this season, the motto is no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
None. It is nut up or shut up time for Lamar Jackson. You got paid. They gave you Zay Flowers. They gave you OBJ along with Perryman, JK, and Mark Andrews now. You got a top-notch defense. You got an elite head coach. You got an elite franchise in terms of first-class franchise. No excuses. It's time for the Baltimore Ravens to nut up or shut up. So I'm at 12-5, making the playoffs as the 6th seed. Then I have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns finishing 13-4, tying. But I have the Bengals as the 5th seed, finishing 2nd in the AFC North, and the Browns finishing as the number 1 seed in the AFC and AFC North. This is the one. This is what I got to say about the Bengals first, and then I'll touch on the Browns, which is obviously this revelation I have had over the past couple weeks with the Cleveland Browns. The Burrow injury concerns for me is why I have them as the number 2 seed. They play, I think, a couple of their division opponents early in the season. I don't know when Burrow's going to be back. It looks like he's probably going to miss game 1. I don't know when he's going to be back. So I'm losing a couple games early in the season because of that. Listen, the secondary took a hit, Justin, especially at safeties. They lost both of them. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be tough to overcome in terms of that. They did add Orlando Brown, which should bolster that offensive line that they've worked on for the past 2 years now, trying to make, so much better from what it was when Burrow first came in and was getting just mollywopped all over the place. But I say all that to say this. As long as they got Joe Burrow, Justin, they're always going to be a contender. They're going to be all right. Okay? Now for the Cleveland Browns. 13-4, number 1 seed in the AFC.
The Browns are the number 1 seed in the AFC. Man, Brandon, you're driving me crazy. You got the Broncos winning the West. So you got the Browns winning the North.
Justin, I expect a massive season. Justin, listen to me. Let me talk to you. I expect a massive season from the Browns. I've said this for the past couple of months about I actually said this last year. I have it written down from last year when I wrote when we did this last year about the Browns. Watson is out until week 13. Right after that, Justin, I have contenders next year because we all know they have the team. Their offensive line is arguably a top 5 unit. They have Amari Cooper who's a true number one. Njoku has started to show up as what everybody thought he was going to be. Nick Chubb is arguably the best running back in the league, the most consistent probably in the league right now. The defense is still top notch. You've got Denzel Ward, you've got Myles Garrett, you've got guys on there and dogs in that unit. I expect Deshaun Watson to revert back to MVP form and make the Cleveland Browns a contender in the AFC. Unless you're going to tell me all of a sudden, which we have never seen in the history, I think, of sports, a guy who didn't have a catastrophic injury take a year and a half off and he just forgot how to play football for the rest of his life. There's no way you can argue that to me. He's got the chemistry now. He's got the continuity. He spent the whole offseason. He's not away from mini camps, from OTAs, from training camp, from practice, from preseason, from the start of the regular season, from being away from the facility. He can do all that. He can gain the chemistry and the continuity with the coaches, the trust with his teammates and the units. The Cleveland Browns are going to be the number 1 seed, Justin. Deshaun Watson, we all know about Watson. He's just a winner, baby. And what did Al Davis say best, Justin? Just win, baby.
And I'm sorry, but they'll do just the opposite. I'm not a believer in the Cleveland Browns. Am I a believer in what Deshaun Watson can be?
Let me ask you this. I think I can guess why you're not a believer. Is there one reason why you're not a believer?
I thought you were going to guess.
I know, but is there one reason or is there like multitude?
I'd say there's multiple.
Okay, because to me, the only fallback, and I wrote this down, the only fallback or shortcoming is if Stefanski holds them back. I'm not sold on Kevin Stefanski. Okay, if he's the only person I think that can hold this team back.
I
have the talent. How do you not see the talent? How do you not see the talent?
No, don't get me. I see the talent. I do. The talent has always been there in Cleveland since Baker was there, and they've always had their shortcomings. No matter how talented the roster, they haven't been able to make that next step. And all I've seen out of the Cleveland Browns is inconsistency. They have their good weeks, they have their bad ones. Their talent doesn't always play up to their potential. It happens year in and year out. Since Cleveland stepped in, Cleveland hasn't been relevant our entire lives until Baker Mayfield stepped in. And then they were relevant.
Wait. Say that again.
The Cleveland Browns have not been relevant until Baker Mayfield was drafted.
Music to my ears.
But even then, outside of one season, the Browns have consistently fallen short with a supremely talented roster. They had Odell. They had Jarvis Landry. They had a great defense. They had the solid O-line, and it never worked. I have the Browns finishing 7-10, last in the AFC North. I have to see it now. I have to see Deshaun Watson be Deshaun Watson. I have to see that guy that was an MVP candidate in Houston. And if I don't see that, this is the exact team that you're going to see. Because if they're anything close to what they were those last 4 or 5 weeks when they had Deshaun Watson, this is a mid-team at best. They're not going to finish higher than this. So I had the Browns finishing last at 7-10. And I'm sorry, Brandon. That's just how I feel. I feel like the Browns are going to brown. And that's it. And so now I got in third place. Sorry, John. I don't have them taking a step up, but I still have them having a decent season. Your Steelers going 9-8. I get what you mean about Matt Canada, but I also understand that Mike Tomlin probably thinks that his quarterback is going to grow with a second year with the OC rather than having him switch offensive schemes over and over again like a ton of organizations do. Give him another year with Kenny Pickett, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you can him. But at least you're getting to see Kenny Pickett play in the same system he was in last year. Maybe it could have been a little bit of rust. Not really rust, but him just getting used to it. And now a whole offseason, going through OTAs and training camp in this system, getting better and better, maybe Kenny Pickett will be well off. I got the Steelers going 9-8. I think Mike Tomlin's just a winner. Now, drum roll. Second place in the AFC North. This is my 6th seed in the AFC. I got the Cincinnati Bengals finishing 11-6. Now I understand people probably think I'm crazy for having them finish second in this division. This has been theirs this whole time. I love Joe Burrow. Like you, I have my reservations. Not really so much on Joe Burrow, but on the defense now. You lose your two safeties. Now, what was a strength is now a weakness. You don't know what it's going to look like. Joe Burrow's going to be injured. We don't know for how long. I'm sure he'll be back after week 1, or he might play us week 1 for all we know. I have them finishing 11-6, more so because the team top of them, my number one team in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens at 14-3. I think, like you said, this is no excuses for the Baltimore Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's going to go back to his MVP ways. I think he will be contending for MVP. And you know what? Fuck it. He will win MVP this season. I got the Baltimore Ravens finishing 14-3, Odell having a hell of a year. And the surprise, Zay Flowers is going to be the best receiver on that team. He's going to surprise a lot of you guys. I think that defense is going to be elite. I think John Harbaugh is going to do his thing like we always expect him to be. And I think these Ravens are going to give the Chiefs a run for their money this postseason.
There's Justin's hot take of the day of the season. Baltimore Ravens finishing number 1 in the AFC, and Lamar Jackson being the MVP. Two-time now. Two-time. Okay. Respect.
I say it with confidence.
Confidence, yeah. A little eye roll there, but it's okay.